Arts project being arts project, it's a steep learning curve and it's a wild ride, and you have to be infinitely flexible and be able to sort of flow with the tendencies and interests of the artists. You can't come in and impose an agenda. July 2011 the project began, and it culminated in an exhibition which happened in November at the substation. I started out just making simple hand puppets with a 3D constructed head. We used air drying paper clay, which is a very malleable and clean and lightweight substance that can be painted. And I chose this because I know a few of the artists were coming to 3D for the first time, and I know they were intimidated. Some of them had a real tactile issues. They didn't like things on their hands that were dusty or resembled clay. So air dry clay doesn't stick to you, it doesn't really leave the residue, so this was quite a comfortable way for them to get used to modelling in 3D without the horror of dust and muck. So a few people, the first time they modelled, wore latex gloves because they had such a sort of fear of touching the material. And the gloves came off very quickly, and so did the fear.
Made a metal hands and the helmet and this is
leather. Nick's been an interesting one because he was very timid at the beginning. He was one of the people that would wear gloves and would literally sort of sit with the material on his desk for weeks on end without touching it. So though he hasn't made a lot of objects, each one of those is quite a victory for him because it's breaking out of an incredibly entrenched pattern.
Block, the original death cell detention block. It's where they hold prisoners and stuff. They hold prisoners and they use them for further questioning. Transportation, so they don't use that. They don't fly. It's like there's gravity and other people's gravity. But making a bounty hunter one at the moment, yeah, a bit reluctant, but now engaged in it now. So yeah.
Jodie Miller has been an indispensable asset to this project. She sort of came as a volunteer to Arts Project shortly before the project began, and she stayed on as a volunteer.
Something that's quite eerie, but it resonates with me at the same time.
Me too.
And I don't know what it is.
Well, it's a little bit baby and it's a little bit corpse.
Is that what it is?
Well, that's what it is for me.
Yeah.
And a little bit doll. And
Yeah.
a little bit like, a votive doll.
When Paul was making this, it was very emergent. You sort of had a rough idea, Paul, didn't you? The black swan, and printed out some imagery, and then from there made these sort of hand shapes, and then we explored that and it turned into wings, and instead of forethinking and going, okay, next week we'll do this, next week we'll do that, or just today, next hour we'll do this, or you're going to do this, you're going to do that. You know, it can change within a second, and I think that's the beauty of it. It's just to be with the now and see what emerges.
Started ballet because sister worked at Australian Ballet Company and got interested in the classical ballet because of her. Enjoy it because of the young people, meeting people, and good physical exercise.
Because you usually do this dual coloured faces, so it's got the Paul signature.
Another person that came in was Tim Denton, mask maker and very experienced puppeteer, and he took them through a module of paper mache mask making. They had to model their initial mask in clay, then they had to build over that with paper mache, so that was definitely an exercise in steps to a process and not having immediacy.
What would you do in a time machine?
Go back in 2000 when nobody around and I can be all alone.
So here's Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Hey, Nicole. Oh, he's on there.
And who's this character? I couldn't remember.
Undertaker.
The Undertaker, of course.
I think Queen Mary actually killed people for power. She come to any house. If you call her name. The red one is Cain.
Oh, the red one is Cain. Okay, so
Cain.
Cain, C-A-I-N. Hey,
or with the K.
I'm going to exhibit these ones. Do you
With
think...
the dominant seal.
Oh, you want me to get the dominant seal?
Yeah.
Here's the dominant seal.
I am to.
Where did the dominant seal come from again?
I saw one of the tall zombies with the axe, and I said, that could be a dominant seal that can't be killed or can't be get the skin taken away or anything.
A dominant seal. And you identify with a seal, don't you?
Yes. I am Clark.
Even holding a needle and threading was a huge challenge. Adrian Lazaro, for example, had a terror of needles and refused initially, but once we got him to take those first stitches, that was a huge breakthrough. Andrew Degami came as a work placement student. He's got a special passion for Muppets, and he's been working with the artists one-on-one, taking them through construction, sewing machine, pattern making, and negotiating how to make himself understood and how to understand people with a hearing impairment. He initially came with a support person who was going to sign for him, and he sent that person away and said, no, I want to learn to be in a workplace without support and find my own way.
The one you have here today, that little one.
Heavy monster.
Can you show Leonie that one as well? He collects vintage Muppets.
Right there, this is Heavy Monster, and this is my doggy, Heavy Juno. That's very toy.
Andrew's good to work with. He's fantastic in puppetry. It's been great to have him here to work with, which has been fantastic. I've never done puppeteers before, so it's a good experience for me. Something different.
She will be stuffing in, and then put on the top of them this jaw joint. That's how you connect to the body. So you can take it off, so you can change the clothes, or yeah.
Putting a dress on the puppet.
Really pretty. Beautiful.
Yeah, it looks a bit tall.
Okay, no worries. What should I do? That's how you grab the material.
I've got a photo of me at home with this on, and that made me think of this for her skirt, so she can go swiggle, 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 swiggle.
Walk in. Hang on, do it again. Walk in. The needles, they're the legs, but they might have to be thicker.
Yeah, did you want legs that swing?
Yeah.
Like as you go along?
Yeah.
I thought that people would take to puppetry as a storytelling medium.
So I'll get a piece of leather. That might be a way to do it. Do you think? I love the eyelashes.
I bought them at Spotlight.
And will you stitch that on?
They have particular fascinations, and it's in their choices of subject matter, which isn't about themselves, that they are actually revealed.
It's pretty fantastic.
The objects they make are autobiographical by default.
I like him. I might make another one.
Bronwyn's a new artist to Arts Project, so she's sort of begun with 2D media, traditional painting and drawing, and has gone to 3D, and she's an incredibly playful, funny, imaginative young woman. Another fabulous aspect of this project has been the community that has occurred, and in a way the stitching, the modelling, it became a sort of a sewing circle, and it became a conversation circle. And for some of the artists, they said it was a more communal experience than they'd ever had, because it was really quite intimate. It's been a very, very beautiful thing. I think some very real friendships have grown up out of this project.
This one, when I was making that body, I didn't know it was going to have a beak on it, but It just turned into a beak because it started to look like a beak, so I said, yeah, it's a beak.
Mark Smith joined us very late in the program. He's only really been with us about 3 months, and he's absolutely remarkably gifted at 3D. Were you going to connect the hands?
Actually, yeah.
So you could have them coming from a single rod?
Alright, okay.
So he just does this gesture?
Yeah,
Is that what you had in mind?
Yeah, yes, that was, yeah.
Fantastic.
Beginning stage.
I'm really excited for Monk. I think 3D really suits his wild and surreal imagination. So Dot, who's this?
I think Lurky tortoise.
Tell me about him.
Yeah, we had our tortoise.
Is he a pet tortoise?
A pet tortoise. It goes round the gutter trap.
He what?
Goes round the gutter trap.
Oh, that's really sad.
Yeah.
And his name was Luke?
Yeah, Luke. Yeah.
And did you talk to Luke?
Yeah.
What did you say to Luke?
Hello, Luke.
And what would he say to you?
Hello, Dorothy.
Yeah, so that's Dorothy's father. And she's done... Who's up on the wall, Dot? Is that your mum?
Yeah, that's my mum.
And who else?
With the blue...
With the blue beads?
Yeah, with the long hair.
Yeah, and have you got an auntie up there as well?
And
Auntie Myrtle. I've been told that there's been an incredible sort of flow-on effect across the studio. It's created a lot of excitement and a lot of new directions in the art that is highly valued by Arts Project, and has led to the puppetry program growing into a sculpture program that is going to continue into the future. And I'm really excited about that because we already have new participants gathering on the periphery, watching and asking to be part of this.
It's a privilege, an absolute privilege, and I think I've learnt and changed so much from being here working in this environment.